Alright guys, it's been a long time since I did one of these, but I've got a hankering for some GameCube at the moment. I think it's everyone starting their GameCube collections that's got me into it, but I'm going to have a quick go on one of my favourite games of all time, just to see if my recording hardware is still working, because I recently upgraded my computer and put a new operating system on it and whatnot, so driver hit issues here and there. But yeah, obviously that game is Phantasy Star Online on the Nintendo GameCube. You can see it running on the screen next to this pretty little face. I will point out that before I start playing, I am using cheats, because I'm going to be using a level 1 character. It's the first time I played in a few months, and without making this, well, it's the only way to not make this video about 4 hours long. I'm going to try and do the entire forest and beat Dragon for you, or Dragon, sorry, just to give those who have never played it before a little taste of it, bearing in mind that this is supposed to be an online game, and in its heyday it was just amazing. So much nostalgia for this title. Start offline game. Unfortunately. Single mode, and you know what? I'm going to create a new character just so you can go through it with me. The cheats I'm using are just infinite HP and infinite TP, which is like your magic bar. My character won't have magic because I always pick a robot gunner. Obviously, they're not going to be able to wield magic. You don't need to see that. That would go on for too long. I don't want to make the video too long. But even though I'm using cheats, if I remember rightly, the infinite HP doesn't always work. What it does is it does a fast recovery, so that if you get hit, it instantly heals you. So if you get hit over your HP bar, you just die and there's nothing you can do about it. So to be honest, even fighting Dragon as a level 1 is impossible with cheats. Like I said, they're just for the purpose of getting through this ASAP. I'm going to try and make this exactly how I used to play online. It'll be interesting to see if anyone recognises me. I can't remember the colour palette. Come on, orange. I'll have to go through every single one. I did change colour quite a few times. I remember playing online, and whenever I used to see someone with the same colour scheme or character build as me, it really fucking wind me up, so I had to go and change the look of my character instantly. And the only thing you can do is if you had, I think it was like 10,000, you could go and change the colour scheme on your character. Aha, there we have it. Portion, as big as fucking possible. Is there we are, looking right already. And I've always gone by the name of Twit. In fact, this game is what started off the name Twit, and it's because it wouldn't let me pick Twat. I wanted to go online and I wanted to be a little shit and piss people off. But you know, when you're a young pre-teen, that's what you want to do. Either way, I stuck with Twit. I was a bit of an irritating twat, but once I got used to the game and learned that word I can't think of, once I learned the etiquette for online gaming, I shortly got over that, and I've been attached to the name Twit ever since. Episode 1, of course. Episode 2 doesn't really have the same charm to it. Whee! Last time I played this was about a year ago. It just infuriates me that I don't have access to my original characters. Just level 200 is maximum. It takes a fucking long time to get there. You don't want to read all this, to be honest. And that's why you don't skip too fast. See if I can remember the controls. I don't think you start with anything other than that. Can't remember how to customise it so you've got a monomate with a quick action. Oh, it already starts. Okay, that's fair enough. Obviously, that's standard attack, heavy attack. There's a higher attack than that, if I remember rightly, and then there's heal, and then I can also map attacks and actions to that menu there. Very much like a PC game. Let's go to Forest. Let's get my ass kicked by some boomers. Probably even rappies. There's a pattern you can attack in. You can only do 3 in a row, but you can't just jam at the button, as it doesn't let you. You've got to go. Don't know if you saw that, I'll do it again. Depends how I'm going to edit. Yeah, enough of that, let's go on. These gates open hidden gates for you, which usually have boxes in which have useless items at this point. Say useless, saber actually might come in handy because I've got the health. My class is a gunner, obviously, which means I'm not too useful with a saber. As you can see, it's not exactly the most entertaining of games to watch, but man, playing this back in the day, it's absolutely phenomenal. And playing a console online, it's just unbelievable. Dial-up connection. I remember I used to have to take my console downstairs every night at 6 o'clock because it was cheaper rates on my phone line. It would take about half an hour to connect, and oh man, the lag, and it was awful, but I loved it. Mester or Maester, however you want to say it, yeah, HP cheats obviously working. That probably would have took about half my health if I didn't have that on. Yeah, Mester is the currency in the game, sorry. We'll see how long this goes after Forest 1. Can take quite a while. I don't really want an hour plus video just so you can see me beat Dragon. I mean, this game is meant for online co-op, but it does have a couch co-op as well, obviously, for 4 players, which I'd imagine would bring life into this game still. Just a shame that there's no online for it anymore. I know there used to be a hack server you could connect your GameCube to if you still had a broadband modem, which are expensive as hell. I think the server is called Shahack or something. But you could connect your GameCube and play with other GameCube players on that, but there was barely any players on it. There was for the intended game, which was Phantasy Star Blue Burst, but you could only play with other PC players if you're a PC player, and other GameCube players if you're a GameCube player. Obviously not a lot of people kept on to their broadband modems, and the people that did, I can't imagine it'd be common knowledge. If you shoot rappies while they're running away, you usually drop an item, but clearly I'm not paying attention. There's several level layouts. Each time you play a level it changes around, so it's not like you can know the route off the back in hand. So there's always room to go the wrong way. Well, level 1, you want an item farm really anyway. Amazing. Be nice not to have a pistol gun. Hopefully I'll get a rifle. Might be lucky and get a rifle +1. Obviously the item drops on this level of shit. I'd be looking in the boxes really. That's probably going to be a barrier or a shield. Or another handgun, which is useless to me. Or a green saber, which is a better saber. Bit of luck. This will be the end of the level. It won't be some boxes, but yeah, I can't be arsed with them either. To the end. Most people tend to find the game a lot more interesting if you play as a hunter class, because well, wielding a sword is a bit more fun. You can get head on in the action. Playing as a gunner on your own can get a bit tedious at times. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, you might not know anything about it, but this was originally a Dreamcast title, which was fantastic on as well, but to me it was much improved on this system. Get my hair out my face. Wonder why I'm speaking quietly, by the way. It's like 20 to 1 in the morning. But hey, we have a better weapon. I'll take that, thank you. And we have a barrier. Good stuff. Oh, I forgot, the thing above my shoulder, the little black turd, is a mag. And you can feed them items and they evolve and get special attacks. If you look around, if you look by where it says my level and my name, that red dot, well, the grey area around that red dot is a mag attack bar, I guess. It does have a name, but I can't remember it, it's been that long. But once your mag has levelled up twice, I believe, it learns its first attack, and as you kill enemies, that bar starts to fill up, and once it gets to 100 you can unleash the attack and it just annihilates everything in the room, or heals everyone, depending on what you pick. Obviously if you're playing solo, why would you pick the healing one? Oh, these are a pain in the ass. The game's really quite short. It consists of 4 chapters, which is Forest 1 and 2, Caves 1, 2, 3, I think, Mines 1, 2 and 3, and then, fuck me, I can't remember the name, some Temple Ruins or something, or Ruins. I think there might be 4 of those. And that's it, but it is hard and it takes a lot of grinding to get through it. But once you've done it on normal, you go to hard and then very hard, and then you go to, I think it was called insane mode. On an insane mode, all the areas the textures are different and there's new enemies. It looks like the enemies have aged and it's just a much more brutal mode. Pretty much impossible to play solo unless you're a high level. But unless I put 80 hours into the title, you are going to see insane. And to be honest, 80 hours is probably an over-exaggeration, well, an under-exaggeration rather. As you can see, it is very slow going. I can tell you for a fact now, I'm not going to be able to go through Forest 2, but if you like the look of this game, this is the first time you've seen it, which is doubtful. It's a very well known game. I definitely recommend you go and YouTube some of the other levels and perhaps the bosses, because they're huge. quite impressive, especially for the time, bearing in mind the Dreamcast. There's so much one can say about this. I think I'm going to press this and lots of enemies will appear in there. Oh, it doesn't matter. Once I want to get the boxes. It automatically locks on, by the way, I might have very little skill to it really. Hey, we're up to Forest 2. You know what? I'm only 17 minutes in. Let's do it. Fortunately, the enemies don't really change here up until the end of the chapter. Really quite annoying when you're playing on your own as well, because if you die, you have to go back to the very beginning and walk all the way through. Thankfully, the enemies remain in the state which you left in. But obviously, if you were playing online or in co-op, the character could revive you, or if they couldn't revive you, they can place down what's called a telepipe, portal back to the spaceship you originally saw me on. So they can go to the shop, purchase a revival, come back and get you up. Or, simply so you can revive yourself, end up on the ship and go through their telepipe. Disappointed in the lack of drops. Sometimes you're lucky and you find a rifle from your first enemy. Yep, there's the highest level boomer, well, for this difficulty anyway. This music is seriously ingrained into my head. Really is a shame that Phantasy Star Online episode 3 wasn't like this. Made it some kind of card strategy game. It was weird. I never played that one online. Just didn't get on with it. Didn't like the change of format. Phantasy Star Universe, on the other hand, was good. Didn't have the charm of this, but it was good. I put many hours into that. Fortunately, I got banned from that for not paying. I used it one day in a month and thought, fuck that, not going to pay. Not really any loss really, I've been playing it for years before I actually got banned. It's a shame that the servers are no longer active for that either. Very curious to see Phantasy Star Online 2 though. I haven't looked that much into it. I've seen like the original trailer and that's about it. I'm trying to keep it a surprise when it eventually comes out. I can be in awe of it then. That's just items. You're about to see some of the new enemies for this level now. And it's possible that they might even kill me and what, even with this cheat on. If you're wondering where I got the cheat, by the way, it's on an action replay disc that I got free with a Nintendo magazine way back when. It's only got cheats on it for some Harry Potter game, this, Wind Waker, although if I remember rightly the cheats didn't work, Metroid Prime, one of the James Bond games. It'd be fun to show you the Metroid Prime cheats actually. There's like anti-grav. I'll have to go through them at some point, that'll be interesting to watch. It's a shame that cheats aren't really around anymore. It's really quite difficult to do this because you can only run when you're in this menu. It doesn't pause it obviously because it's supposed to be an online game. Shit. And you have to use the D-pad to go through the menus whilst running, so you're kind of all cack-handed and twisted everywhere. Amazing how natural the GameCube pad still feels. I still prefer it to the Xbox 360. It's nice and light. Buttons are just really well placed. Come on. It's just a shame I don't have a higher level character to show you. Because the game does get really interesting, especially when you get better weapons. You know what it's like when you're playing at the beginning of the game, you've played 1,000 times over, you're just anxious to get it going. Games always have slow starts. Ready for it? Okay, usually they appear. I don't know, usually there's an alternative version of this room where it's full of rappies and the second you shoot one of the rappies, the new enemy appears. Fucks you over. I'm presuming they're still going to appear in this. Distance I can actually kill these. I have no doubt in my mind that if I actually had a proper action replay, you could probably put codes in for the guns. Also, I must note that when I played online, I didn't cheat. I didn't ever use the cheats. It's not something I would do. Play fair. People used to dupe items online a lot. I had two characters for duping items with, and I had two characters I played completely legit with, so I didn't even trade anyone, just in case I ended up with a double, or a copy of somebody's weapon. When you play legit, you know, you feel like you've earned your level, trust me. Fuck's sake, clearly not paying attention. In fact, I'm looking at the preview of myself. Well, that's going to do me any good. Hopefully this video is going to record without any lag, it's going to be perfectly in sync, and I'm going to be able to edit it together in the space of about 10 minutes. Remember the first time I did this on my old computer setup? Ah, there we go, look at the size of that bastard. He can be quite nasty. What was I saying? Yeah, the first time I did this on my old computer setup, it took me a few hours just to figure out how to fucking edit it. I've gone from a 32-bit operating system to a 64-bit, so I'm having problems with all my old bloody software. He could take a while to kill, by the way. Fuck's sake. There is tricks you can do. If I lure him over to the door, I can stand outside the door and he can't leave, but I can still attack him. Which, to be honest, I think I'm going to do. Nope, he's going the other way. Come on. Very curious to know if I actually played with anyone, any of my subscribers. If you do remember my character online, feel free to drop me a message and put your screen name in. I used to play with a couple of guys. Fuck, what were the names? JK Proto was one. I'm pretty sure he used to play as a midget hunter. Sonia, who was a robot hunter. I can't remember the proper names. Someone called Faker, who was a hunter robot. Definitely used to play Gold. I used to play with one of my schoolmates at the time. His character was called Thor. And he played as a human mage. It's a shame that when you played online, before you went to the ship, you'd go into a lobby area where everyone would converse and go, do you want to join the game? So you only have 4 players per game. You'd go up to the desk and create a game. You'd give out the password and everyone would join said game. But in the lobby there was little secrets you could do, like press a button combination on a GameCube keyboard and you'd get a chair out and you could move around on this chair and people just have chair races around the lobby. It's all text chat as well, by the way. Bring it up like that. And it was bloody art to learn how to do that whilst fighting and running around. Because that happens. You actually have to go down to OK, I believe. I just press start then to OK it, but you can also create pictures and send emotions and whatnot. And you can quick map them as well. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to find. They're the ones that you can create, obviously. Haven't had that in a long time. That disc foe was a fire spell for a mage. We're very close to Dragon, by the way, so stay tuned. Hair on my fucking face. It's 1 o'clock on a Saturday night and I live very close to one of the busiest pubs in town. Very noisy outside. I'm sorry if you can hear drunken miscreants shouting at the top of their voices. There's loot I can do about that. I'm going to get 2 nasty fuckers here, possibly even 3. 3, sorry. Not 3. I know I've said it before, but I do intend to keep doing regular videos, but every time I think of doing something, I can't be fucked. In all honesty, I just can't be bothered to go through with it. I'd like to do more gameplay videos. It's just getting around to doing them and figuring out my setup so I can just plug in and go without hours of faffing about, editing and moving systems around. But for instance, I spent about a good 40 minutes looking for a spare GameCube power supply because I couldn't bother to unplug it. from obviously my original setup. A potato salad for tea with some ribs and red onion in that. Bloody repeating me. Pointless information you didn't need to know. Look at that beast. He will kill me in one hit. Regardless of this cheat, well, he should do anyway, if my memory serves me correctly. Well, that's not one of his powerful hits. It's going to take me an age to kill him with this weapon. Even with 4 people at, say, level 5, you'd be battling him for a good amount of time. If he kills me, I'm just calling it, by the way. We'll try and beat him. Obviously this game is somewhat of a quiet taste. It's definitely not an action-packed third-person run-and-gun shooter. Hey, he's on the floor. Get some free hits. Oh, I should have a saver equipped really for this point. Fuck it. There's a button which brings up weapon selection so you can change between them, but I can't remember what it is. And I forgot my character has traps that I just completely forgot about. Traps are going to be no good on the dragon, but let's see. Bugger, forgot about them. That's not what I wanted. That's a quick enough selection. It'll do me for now. There is a button where it just brings up a selection of weapons though. I'm not even halfway through this boss fight. We've got a recording time of like 35 minutes so far. Beautiful. If you stuck with me this far, well done. No doubt most people watching this are going, shut up you poor fool, we're watching it for the nostalgia. Don't know why I'm poor fool, first word that came to mind. Very PC of me. A little bit more damage. Not by much, mind you. Oh, it was that one. Yeah, got you. I think he might be at half health now. Soon find out. In Phantasy Star Universe, it's basically a very, very modernised version of this. Like, you can strafe, you can roll, and yeah. Fuck. Tried to roll then. You can strafe and you can roll, and you can buy abilities so you can flip about and stuff with your weapons. It's very cool. Most people run around on this part, but obviously this is a little exploit where if you just stand slightly close to the fire, he can't get you because he just goes through it. Obviously don't stand on the fire like I'm doing right now, like a pleb. Not that it matters, because because I've got an itchy nose and infinite health. I'm not sure what the sudden love for GameCube is on YouTube at the moment. There seems to be a lot of people deciding to collect the system all of a sudden. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic system and it is my favourite system of all time, but not a system I would personally want to collect for. In fact, I sold one of the rare titles for it recently, being Zelda Four Swords, just because I weren't playing it. Nor did I have 4 other people to play it with, so, you know. Or even the Game Boy cables, so there are many reasons to play it. I'm sure someone will get a lot more enjoyment out of it. Or, you know, they'll mistreat it and it'll end up in the bin. That's just one of those things. Perfect execution. Fuck. Hopefully I shouldn't get any lag now. I'm actually running 8 gig of RAM now. I've always had 8 gig of RAM, but because I was running a 32-bit operating system, it could only use 4 gig of it. Come on, I'm determined to kill you. I said I didn't want this video to be an hour, but it's coming up to 40 minutes now. Jesus. Fuck. Just lock of hair around. There was a fly around my head, by the way. Don't get freaked out if you just saw a black thing. He's gonna land on me. I'm very surprised he hasn't killed me. Very surprised. Off F, off F. I haven't managed to get him down since he's been flying about. It's really bad. Come on, Daenerys, come along and tell him to calm down and let me kill him. Fuck. Stupid camera angle. How was I to know that was there? Killed him. See if I can run across. Level 4. What did he drop? Mag food. He does more than mag food. It's good mag food. You can only give it 3 items at a time before it gets full and you have to wait. Obviously, depending on how you level it up, what items you give, it becomes a different mag, different variety, and there was loads of cameo mags you could evolve it into. Like you could get a Master System above your back, a Mega Drive above your back, a Saturn above your back, a Chow, Tails, Sonic, Knight. There's plenty of stuff. There is no level up. It's easy to level them up, but they can get to a stupidly high level. I think hatch ones even were like level 350. I I can't be bothered to go through those boxes. I just want to find the exit. I can't remember where it is. See, a portal. Make sure you let me know. I'm relying on you. There we go. Cheers, guys. Wouldn't have found it without you. We out here. Made it words. That is forest done, dragon defeated, and the next level should be caves. I'm not sure why the next level isn't caves. Maybe I have to speak to the principal. It's been that long. When you play it online, you can just go and pick and choose what level. Yeah. Come on. There's plenty of stuff here, by the way. That's a bank. Got shops in that doorway there. You've got medic there. You've got your online lobby where you would go. Well, that's the direction to the online lobby, and you've got a desk where you can do exciting quests and stuff. We've got a story which I should have shown you, really. Yeah. I'll show you what they're like. I won't play long with it at all. Do one with talking. It's just like your character gets contracted to do other jobs. This is the man that will come with you on your quest, I think. Obviously they've displaced NPCs and these kind of things to make it feel like it was online. No, better than nothing. Small victories and all that. Okay, no man with me on this quest. Anyway. I think I am very much done with this today. That was a taste of Phantasy Star Online, episode 1, level 1, boss 1 on the Nintendo GameCube. Fantastic title that has massive light flare because it's very late and I've got a lamp on because of it. Anyway, cheers guys, enjoy.